Good afternoon, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day! Woohoo! And thank you for this gorgeous weather. We are so lucky. Today we have a very special performer for you. He has appeared on The Tonight Show, America's Got Talent, Let's Make a Deal, at the Comedy Show, at a Comedy Store, and the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, as well as many military bases around the world. Please put your hands together and welcome the very talented Perry Kurtz. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's hear for Rika getting this together. Let's hear for that lady who brings you down here and makes you guys happy. Well, welcome to the show. My name is Perry Kurtz. I'm going to be your entertainer. And a little bit about myself. First of all, my name is Perry. That's Perry like as in Perry Como, Perry Mason, Perry Winkle, or as my mother tells me, there's a medicine she's using called Perry Anal Cream. Let's face it, when you have kids, the only way you can get even is to embarrass them. Also, there's a very famous pop singer by the name of Katy Perry. She's a woman. I'm a man. Don't make me prove that. I proved it last week. She said, "Oh, you're Jewish." All right, that was a tester joke just to see where we're going. Do we have any Jews here? If you're Jewish, hold up your jewelry. Any Jews? Get it? Jewelry. Very good. She's going to be repeating everything in case you didn't hear it. So if your hearing aids are not up, just talk to her. So a little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Perry Kurtz. I happen to be 64 years old, so I'm not necessarily just here to entertain you. I'm also looking for a place to live. And my big question is, how's the food? That's all I need to know. Because if you got good food, you can eat and you can sleep. And that's the best thing, being able to sleep as much as you want. One time I slept 24 hours in a row and I got up, and you know what? I didn't miss anything. When I got up, I missed going back to sleep. But I'm originally from Philadelphia. Do we have anybody from Philadelphia? Nobody? Well, Philadelphia is one of the original cities. It was founded back in the 1700s, and they call it a progressive city, forward-thinking. They're always trying to be advanced. Yet if there's such a forward-thinking city, why haven't they fixed the Liberty Bell? All these years, a little glue, some spackle fixed the darn thing already. But I want to talk to you guys. I am not here just to talk to you, or at you. I am here to talk with you. You are the reason I'm here. So I want you to know you are the focus of my show. So I want to ask you some questions so I can make sure I'm giving you the right material. So I want you to do, if your answer is yes, instead of clapping or putting your hand up, if your answer is yes, I want you to go, ee-haw. See, the women like it already because women just like to make noises. So on the count of three, everybody go ee-haw as hard and as long as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeehaw! That was pretty good. All right, some of you sound like you feel better already. Very good. Remember, if your answer is yes, just go yeehaw. First question. How many people are seeing me today for the first time? Yeehaw! Very good. How many have never seen me before? Yeehaw! Okay, I confused a couple people. We'll simplify it. How many people are here today? Yeah. How many don't know where you are? And here's the big one. How many really don't care at this point? All right. All right. How many people are celebrating St. Patty's Day today? All right. How many people will be drinking today? And she went, How many people will not remember today, tomorrow? Just checking. I love your glasses. They are great. You're gonna walk. You're gonna get in the elevator. You're gonna take somebody's eye out with those things. Remember, you're going to take somebody's eye out. I tried. I could never get a guy's eye out of his head. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. As I said, my name is Perry Kurtz. I'm originally from Philadelphia. My mother lives back in Philly. She is 83, and she just recently got dementia. And I did not know how to deal with it. I wasn't even aware of it. And I called her up. I said, "Hi, Mom." She goes, "Who's this?" I said, "It's Perry." She goes, "Perry? I have a son named Perry." I said, "Yeah, Mom, this is your son. This is Perry." "Oh, is Perry there?" "No, Mom, this is Perry calling. I'm your son. This is Perry." "Yeah, I have a son named Perry. Where is he?" "Mom, this is Perry. I have a brother named Victor." "You know Victor too?" And this went on for 10 minutes. So now I just go up to, "What'd you eat today?" That she remembers. Because getting old is not easy. It's not easy. Our bodies change. That's one of the first things you notice about getting older. When you were young, when you were in your 20s and you would take a shower and you were slim and trim, to wash the soap off, all you had to do was put your arms up under the water and the soap would wash off. Then you hit 40 and gravity starts pulling everything down. And you have to lift things out of the way to get the soap off. You soap up to wash off, you got to go like this. I did that last week. I found a wallet. Had 50 bucks in it. I didn't know where it was. And then the hair goes gray. Some of us lose our hair. I have all my hair. I'm very, very happy about that. And I always have guys tell me that I have too much hair. Too much hair. You know who it is? The tall guys that are bald on the top that nobody can see. So when they say that, I go, "Why, you need some?" But I'm very happy to be alive, and you should be too, because you made it. And that's the bottom line. We are all here. We made it. You know why? Because we wanted to. Bottom line is, if the brain walks, the body will follow. So you got to keep your brain going. The fact that you came down here is a good sign. I travel around a lot, and now one of the things that's keeping me in the area is something I'm celebrating. I'm 64, and I have a 10-year-old daughter. Yeah, let me say that again for the ladies. 64, I have a 10-year-old daughter. Thank you very much. Yeah, she came as a surprise. I met my wife in 1990 online. I'm sure you've heard of the online dating, computer dating, where you see each other and you tag them and you call each other and you go out and you learn to hate each other that way. In those days, we didn't have pictures. We didn't have color. Communications were so slow that when you would type a word, it had to build itself dot by dot. So I typed my name and it went doot 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 doot. That was just a P alone. By the time my name finished printing on the screen, my wife made a sandwich, ate it, and digested it. So she called me up, we talked for 40 hours over 3 days, and I fell in love with her because she has a southern accent. I love southern accents. Do we have anybody from the South? Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi? Anybody from down there? Where are you from down there? Meridian, Mississippi, right. Yeah, down in the South, notice she took her time. In the South, people talk slowly. They enjoy talking. They're not in a rush. In the South, when they say hello to you, they don't even say hello. They go, "Hi, how are you? What's up?" My wife has a phrase whenever she goes out. She says, "I'm going over yonder." You ever heard that? Very popular, "I'm going over yonder." I looked at 57 maps. There is no place called yonder. I don't know where she goes, but she always finds her way back. And so now we have been married for 25 years. And when I first met her, we went out for about 6 months. And in those days, I had a motorcycle. I had a big blue Kawasaki 650, and it had a trunk on the back so I could carry my stuff. But on the trunk, in white letters, it said Perry Cycle. Get it? Perry Cycle. I actually had people pull up next to me in traffic and go, "Hey, what's a Perry Cycle?" "It's mine." "Your name's Perry?" "Yeah." "What are you, a comedian?" "Yes, I am." And they would try to run me over. Some people can't take a joke. So we went out on the motorcycle for about 6 months, and I was working at the Comedy Store. My wife got to meet a very dear friend of mine, Milton Berle, very close friend, Rodney Dangerfield, also a good friend. She met Robin Williams. She met Richard Pryor, a lot of the big stars in those days. And then, after 6 months, she says, hey, why don't you come out to my house? So I drove out to her house. She lives out in Van Nuys. And I walk in, and there's a guy on the couch. There's a little baby girl crawling around on the floor, and a little boy and a girl playing with blocks in the corner. So, of course, I said the natural question, honey, who are these kids? And she starts laughing just like you did. And she goes, I guess I forgot to tell you, I have children. And I'm sitting there looking at the two doors, wondering which one is the fastest way out of the house. There's an old saying, you don't want to get involved with somebody that's got baggage. My wife owns Samsonite. But I met the kids, we fell in love, and we all moved in together, and we lived together for about 1.5 years. And the children did not know their father. They did not have a father, and I figured I would be a good guy. I don't drink, I haven't had alcohol since 1974, never had a cigarette, don't do drugs. I figure I'm clean, never been arrested, I'm safe. So one day at dinner, I gave everybody a little gold ring, put it on their fingers, and I got down beside the table and I said, I'd like to ask the 4 of you to marry me. And they all looked at each other. My son, who was then 7, looks around and goes, yeah, whatever, can we just have dinner now? Let's face it, boys are not that romantic, are they? So we got married at City Hall. Now, those of you that have been married, I'm sure you had a very nice wedding. You had your friends, you had your family, maybe you had a band, people were dressed up, people were dancing. We got married at City Hall. This patio is nicer than City Hall. It was gray marble. And I walked in, and I walked up to the counter. I said, hi, we'd like to get married. And the guy goes, oh yeah, you like to get married. I said, no, we'd like to get married. He says, yeah, you get married. I said, no, we'd like to get married. He says, yeah, married. I said, fine, can we just get married while we're here? He says, you have a seat, we call you when we ready. I said, we wait for you there. Will you call us when we're ready? We be waiting for you. Okay, bye. We sat down. All of a sudden, 10 minutes later, we hear, Sarah and Perry, please come in. We walk in, it's the same guy. Now he's wearing a judge's robe, and he's speaking perfect English. The accent out the window. And he's reading from the book, and he gets to the end. He says, now, Sarah, do you take Perry to be your lawfully wedded husband? She goes, I do. And he goes, Perry, do you take these people to be your family? And I said, I guess so, I'm here, right? Not the smartest thing to do, because women never forget anything. Forget about elephants. You ladies have memories that never stop. You remember every stupid thing that a man does, and you know just when to throw it back in our face when we do something else stupid, which I've heard is about every 8 hours. So we got married, and we went on the road. I had a show, and we went out on the road, and we spent our honeymoon in, and it's a good thing you're sitting down, we spent our honeymoon in Barstow. Does it get better than Barstow? Barstow is a small town, very small. It's a loop. You drive in, there's a sign that says, welcome to, thank you for coming. And there's inbreeding in Barstow, California. We actually met people who were their own parents. We also had more teeth than everybody in the city put together. And so we went out on the road. We lived in South Carolina, which is where my wife's from. We moved right across from my wife's father, who was a good old boy. One day he had a picnic and he had all neighbors over, and he's a big guy, and he comes over, puts his hand around my head, and he goes, hey, this is my son-in-law. He's a real Jew boy. Isn't that sweet? He said real, at least. And everybody came up and they were all looking at me and said, how come you ain't got no big nose? I had it removed. I had a small one put on there. Oh, all right. So we lived there for a while, came back out here, and then 11 years ago, my wife gave me the shock of my life. She told me that she was pregnant. And I actually looked at her and said, any idea who the father is? Maybe not the best answer. She looks at me and goes, that's one, don't push your luck. I didn't think I could get her pregnant. I was 53. I didn't think I had anything left inside my body except dust. And so I sat down on the bed and I freaked out. I'm going to have a baby. I'm in comedy clubs every night. I'm never home. How am I going to raise this little baby? And I finally adjusted to it. And then 5 weeks before the baby was due, my wife was gigantic. Her stomach was out to here. Her stomach was so big, she had smaller stomachs orbiting around it. She was in horrible pain, and I took her to the hospital, and the doctor said, Mr. Kurtz, we've got 20 minutes to get the baby out of your wife, or she is going to die. And I looked at me and said, can you give me 30 minutes to think about that? He looks at me and says, what are you, a comedian? So they invited me into the operating room while they were taking the baby out of my wife's stomach. Now, I had no idea what I was in for. I walk in there, they all got their masks on, they got her tied down. Her stomach's been cut open, and the doctor's got both hands inside her stomach, and he's pulling parts out and dropping them back in like he lost a watch in a dumpster. And he's talking to the nurses, not about delivering a baby. He's talking to them about renting cars to go to Las Vegas. He's going, no, don't you use National? Oh, that's an intestine. No, use Enterprise. Take it out of my wallet. I've got a card. And I go, hey, can you find my baby? He goes, yeah, I'll find her. I said, is she in there? He goes, hey, this isn't my first rodeo. You ever hear that one? I wanted to hit him, rodeo. I said, have you done this before? He said, yeah, 3 or 4 times. I said, what? He said, no, 3 or 4,000. Finally, he takes her out and he hands her to me, and it was the most magical moment of my life. Now, those of you that have children, which I assume is everybody, you remember when you saw your first baby. It's better than the most beautiful sunset, than a rainbow, a million flowers, a little puppy dog. Nothing is as beautiful as that little baby. As you look at them and they lay there going, and that's all they could do at that point. They just lay there. And I started to cry, and the doctor says, would you like to cut the cord? And I said, excuse me? He said, the umbilical cord. I said, you're going to give me scissors? So they gave me these little tiny round edge scissors, and they put her on a table, and I thought it was going to be like this. It was just going to go snip. No, it's like steel. I go to cut the umbilical cord, and every time I squeeze it, it's squeezing out of the scissors. So I'm chasing her umbilical cord around her stomach. I turn around. They're laughing. They're on the phone. They're calling people. They're taking pictures. We got another one. Finally, they came over and they held it, and she said, we do that to everybody. I said, and you're in the healthcare business? You guys are sick. So we took her home, named her Bella, and she was home, I guess it was about 2 or 3 weeks. She was in the bassinet. And I go walking through the bedroom after going to the bathroom at night, and I hear, and I looked around because I thought the devil was in the house. You ever hear the devil on TV and movies? It's always, I'm the devil, I'm Lucifer. I think just once in a movie, they should make the devil sound like Ethel Merman. That'd be much more interesting. She comes out dancing, I'm the devil. So I keep on walking, then I hear it again. And the smell hit me, and my eyebrows burst into flame, and I fell to the floor. And I crawled into bed, and I woke up my wife, honey, what is that horrible smell coming out of the baby? She said, oh, it's from the baby food. It gives them gas and it gets it out while they're sleeping. I said, oh, great, okay. A couple nights later, my wife got into a little discussion with the kids. They wanted to watch Disney. She wanted to watch something else. She said, well, I'll just go watch in the bedroom. So I waited a while until my wife was asleep, and I figured I would get even with her. So I ate some baby food. And I waited till my stomach was going. And I crawled into bed and I woke my wife up and said, honey, pull my finger. She pulled my finger and she said, oh, what's that horrible smell? And I looked and said, baby food. Good night, honey. And I went to sleep. So now my little daughter Bella is 10 years old, and she is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the light here, but I do carry a picture of her. Not, you won't be able to see her, it's too light. But she's beautiful. She looks like a young Anne Margaret. Got reddish hair. Really smart. She does stand-up comedy with me, writes her own jokes. First joke she wrote at 6 years old. Why did the chicken cross the road? He was tired of being cooped up. At 7 years old, why was the skeleton afraid to cross the road? He had no guts. At 8 years old, why did the rooster cross the road? The chicken was on vacation. So she is just great, and she doesn't take any gruff from anybody. She's a strong kid. The street she lives on, it's all older kids. So she's 10, she plays with kids from 15 to 19, and they do whatever she tells them. She's just like her mom. Darn it. But I love her. We went out to Denny's one time, and you know, kids like their food separate. They don't want it to touch, right? Remember that, the little trays? So she said, Dad, can we get a waiter to get a dish? I said, I'll come. She says, you know what, I'll get it. You told me I need to be more assertive. So she stands up in the booth at Denny's, and she's standing there going, excuse me, waiter, excuse me, over here, little girl right here, little girl, me, hello, could you come over, and he's walking his way around the table. Hi, come on, I said, come on, you're doing good, come on. And he comes over, and he's obviously angry because she treated him like a little dog. And he stands right there, looks at her face, and goes, can I help you, ma'am? And she goes, yes. Could you please get me an extra plate? And he goes, she'd like an extra plate? And she goes, I'm sorry, didn't I just ask you nicely for an extra plate? And he goes, yeah, ma'am, I'm really sorry. Let me get your plate. And he's walking away like this. So I have no doubt she's going to be successful when she grows up. But that's enough about me. I'm here, I'm alive, I'm surviving. One of the things about getting older is we get all kinds of ailments. You ever been sitting there and suddenly you get a pain, you go, oh, and then it goes away and it never comes back. What is that? It's like somebody's got a little voodoo doll somewhere and they're like, my neck. And then of course I got diabetes about 10 years ago. Through the diabetes, I got arthritis and I had to have my hip replaced. Any hip replacements? One right there. Did it make your life better since you got your hip replaced? No. Well, I was horrible. I had horrible pain, and when I would walk, there was a bone spur, so when I would walk, it would go. So one time I was at the Improv in Hollywood, and there was a guy from New York. Now, do we have any New Yorkers? Anybody from New York? Right there? And you guys? All right, what part of New York?
Long Island.
Long Island, he said it right, Long Island. And where are you from? The Bronx. Yeah, see, people in New York talk differently. Now, I talk, I don't talk. I have a Philadelphia accent. I walk, I don't walk. A wok is something you cook Chinese food in. But people in New York have their own way of speaking. When they talk, it always sounds like they had a sandwich and they got part of it left in their mouth for later. So it's like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. What's up? How are you? Hey, what's up? How are you? In fact, the difference between a New York mobster and a Philadelphia mobster is their head. In New York, when you owe them money, they go, hey, hey, hey. In Philadelphia, they go, hey. And that scares people because we're afraid of roosters. So I'm at the Improv in Hollywood, just finished the show, and this comic walks in from New York, and his name is Louis. Surprise. And he's walking around in a leather jacket. You know, he thought he was Fonzie walking around. Yeah, I'm from New York. We're better than you guys. We're tough. I can take anything. I said, really? You're a tough guy, Louis? He goes, yeah, I'm a tough guy. I said, come here. He goes, what? I said, come here. He goes, what? I said, give me your hand. He says, why? I said, put your hand on my hip. He goes, okay. Puts his hand on my hip. I lifted my leg and went, and he ran out of the room crying. You gotta keep on going. Now, I don't know if you can see, everybody can see me in my jacket. Can you all see me in this? Liberace's gone, but I got this from him before he went. Problem with this jacket, although it looks good, and you can see me, on weekends I rent myself out as a mirror ball. Problem is it's very warm, so I'm gonna take the jacket off. I know there's a lot of ladies here. Don't get too excited. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Pretty scary, huh? Yeah. Yeah. But getting older is not easy, and that's the thing. We all got to learn to deal with it. It's not easy. Your body changes, your mind changes, everything changes. I know it has with me. We all take pills, lots of pills, right? Why is it when you take pills, the tiniest one, no matter what you do, as you put your hand up to your mouth, the tiniest one falls out of your hand, hits the floor, and disappears off the earth? There is a planet on the other side of Pluto made of little pills that we can't get to our mouths. Our eyesight starts to go bad. Bifocals, I have bifocals. I hate them. I hate them. I don't think anybody likes bifocals because you kind of constantly go like this to look at things. And if you don't know what bifocals are, there's a bottom lens, it's a magnifying lens, so you can see things up close. But it makes things look closer. So when I first got them, I was tripping going up the stairs. It's one thing when you fall going down, but when you're going up the stairs like this, and people were laughing, and that's it. Human beings are the only creatures on this planet that laugh at themselves. We have that ability to laugh when we make a stupid mistake. You don't see animals do that. A dog falls down, they don't get up and go, and keep walking, but we laugh at each other. In fact, if a woman falls down, every man in the room will rush over to lift you up. But if a man falls down, every woman in the room will point and laugh. Yeah, the sight goes, and the hips go, and the eyes, and the hair. And it's not easy. And you know what? I'm tired of being called a senior citizen. I think we should be called vintage. Because vintage means you've been around for a while, but you're still working. And the bottom line is you guys are still here. You made it. And that's what's important. Now, I know we have some birthdays here celebrating this month. We're the birthday people. Any birthdays out there? Anybody remember their birthdays? Because I have a list here. Let's start out. Is Mary Louise Rector here? She's not here? All right. Dan Cafton. Right over there. Hey, Dan, how are you? You're here. Good answer. That's a very positive answer. I'm here. Because there's other places you could be you don't want to go. So you're here. That's the bottom line. And your birthday is at the end of the month. So how old will you be? 89. Very good. See, he said it proudly. Some people are afraid to tell their age. You can blow up that. 89 is good. Although I hear we have older. But some people are afraid to say how old they are. Never be ashamed of your age. You know why? You made it. You wanted to keep going, and that's why you're... Think of all the people you grew up with that you went to school that are gone. But you're still here, so always, whatever age you are, whether you're 89, 90, 95, 102, be proud of it. I did a show, I said, whose birthday is it? A lady stands up, she's this tall, stands up in a walker. She says, honey, I'm 107 and I can still kick it. And I looked at her, I said, you're in a walker, you shouldn't kick anything. You're gonna break your hips. She said, I did my hips, I'm working on my knees now. Well, happy birthday to you, Dan. Arlen Clody, or Claudia, is Arlen here? Right there in the back. I love your hat, the cat in the hat, that's great. And how old are you, dear? All right, well, happy birthday to you. And where is Ramona Allen? Right there. You are 99. Wow. That's just she even said wow herself. I reminded her, she was surprised. Really? I did that? Congratulations. Where are you from originally? Hollywood. From Hollywood? Wow. Were you in show business by any chance? No? Would you like to be? I'm looking for a dancing partner. Can you get down? Yeah, I can do that. All right. Well, good. And Spencer Lehman. Spencer here? Nope. Nope. He's upstairs celebrating. All right. Now, Sandy Royer. Is Sandy here?
Not here.
Not here. Carol Roberts?
Not here.
Not here. All right. Dramelia Manzano? Not here either? One of the newbies?
Yeah.
Try to be nice to the newbies. Because remember when you first came in? You're going to be newbies. All right. Well, be nice to them. Because let's face it, when you come from living in a regular apartment, suddenly you're thrust into this, the family you have are the people around you. Remember that. You guys are a group. Be aware that everybody loves each other. Try to care about everybody. Talk to everybody. That's really, really important. Talking keeps your brain working. And it's important to work your brain. For instance, do you guys play bingo? Bingo is a great game. Couple reasons. Number one, you have to turn up your hearing aid so you can hear what letter and number they're calling. Number two, you have to use your eyes to find that space on the board. And number three, you got to try and get that little thing on the board without knocking the rest off. So I have that problem now. I'm left-handed, and when I eat, when I get a grip on something like that, my hand starts to shake. And I can't tell you how many times I was in a restaurant and I go to put food up in my mouth and it shoots across the room. So they have invented a device that absorbs the vibration. If your hand shakes, it stays still. I don't know what it costs, but I'm going to get one. I'm going to wrap it in wood and make me look cool. Yeah, new people are always uncomfortable. I remember I was in a place that said, what do you guys do for fun? They said, well, when the newbies run up to me and they're looking for a bathroom and they're in a hurry, I send them to the other end of the building to watch them waddle away. So try to be nice to each other. Now you guys are moving in, where are you guys from originally?
New York.
New York originally. Utah, all right. And where did you guys meet?
California.
Met here in California? Anywhere particular, just on the street, in the market? Rancho Santa Margarita. Was there a building in that town?
Mountains.
All right. Were you guys dancing, drinking?
Trying to survive.
She's looking at him. She's not sure. She's looked at him first. I love when couples have to check with the other one. What's the right answer? Her answer was, we were trying to survive. Now, how long have you guys been married?
We've been married for 14 years.
That's close enough.
That's close enough.
14 years, and he says that's close enough. I had a couple.
He's my number 4.
Number 4.
Yes.
I sure hope you get it right at this point.
That's what he's hoping to.
Yeah, so the first 3 like training husbands.
Well, I thought they were.
Did any of them survive?
No.
All right, that's good. You got rid of them and buried the body somewhere?
Oh, yes.
Smart, very good. I had a couple, they were sitting in the front row, and she had her hand on the inside of his thigh. And I looked at him, I said, are you guys a couple? And she goes, whatever. I said, how long have you been together? She said, 54 years. I said, that's pretty good. How long have you been married? She says, 4 years. I said, so you knew each other for 50 years and then you got married. What made you rush into this? And she looks at him and she says, we were waiting for our spouses to die. That's it, we get old, we get this sick sense of humor. You have a right to, you've lived long enough. Couple, as they call senior jokes. Older couple walks out of a restaurant, they walk past a wishing well. The husband throws a quarter in and makes a wish. The wife throws a quarter in, falls in and drowns. And the husband goes, wow, it worked. Two older gentlemen are having dinner. One says to the other one, you know, my wife's an angel. And the other one says, really, mine's still alive. 2 guys are sitting in the bar, and one says to the other one, yeah, I'm having this big fight with my wife right now. He goes, what's it about? He goes, well, she says I don't listen to her when she talks. And the other guy goes, well, so what does she usually say? He goes, I don't know, I don't listen to her when she talks. That's the way guys are. We're idiots, and that's why you women rule the world. Because you got the brains. All we got is eyes. We look at a woman, and based on the way you look, we decide we want you, whether it's your nose, your ears, your hips, your feet, ankles, whatever it is. It could be your hair, it doesn't matter. Whereas women are smarter than men. Women will walk up to a guy and say, can you talk? Whereas guys want you to shut up so they can talk. So I give you women a lot of credit. Now we got a couple veterans. Where are the vets at? Any of the vets down here? Over there? Right there, and who are you, sir? Bob Abernathy. And where were you stationed during the war? Germany. All right. Was it fun? Was Germany fun? Because I hear it's a fun country, unless you're Jewish. All right, I'm not going, I'll tell you that right now. But you made it back. That's great. And which one of these lovely ladies is with you? She did, see that? Her hand went right up. She was proud of it. She married a veteran. Very good. And how long have you guys been married? 310 years, ladies and gentlemen. He came back from the war but left his brain there. That's very good. 310 years. That's a brilliant answer. She said it only feels like 310 years. It's only 250. That's great. Do you have children that you know of? 5. Way to go, Bob. He went, yes, I did that. Congratulations. Well, that's great. Now, do we have any former entertainers? Anybody that used to be an entertainer, singer, dancer? Right there, and what did you used to do?
I
And what is your name? Lila, so you can dance?
I could.
You could? Because we're going to do a little music in a little while. Maybe you can get up and dance.
I can't now.
No? Can you just wiggle your feet a little bit? Here's what you do. When we do the music, if you don't want to get up and dance, put your fingers out and act like you're the Rockettes. It seems silly, but it's good exercise. Because when you move your fingers, it pushes blood in your brain and it keeps you from falling asleep. All right, so we got Gina Brewington. Are you here? Gina. She says your name is pronounced Gina. Like to drink. So do you drink on a regular basis, like when it's light or dark out? You don't? Good for you. How long has it been since you had a drink? 10 years. Good for you. That's great. I stopped drinking because I had way too much. Back in 1974, I was in Atlantic City, and I was drinking double shots of Southern Comfort. And you know what Southern Comfort is? This is really strong stuff. This is the stuff that killed Janis Joplin, and she was almost a man. And I was drinking double shots chased with Coke No Ice, which meant that as soon as I would swallow it, it'd go right to my head. And I'm sitting in a bar, and this cowboy trucker sits down next to me and goes, "Man, a little guy like you drinking all that, think you can drink more, little man?" And he said, "If you're buying, I'm drinking." He bought me 6 more double shots of Southern Comfort. That's 3/4 of a bottle. Now, I'm a little guy. I'm a little under 6 feet tall. I'll tell you when it's a joke. And I drank it all. And then he got up and left. And I turned into liquid mercury. And in slow motion slid off the stool to the floor. And I'm laying there thinking to myself, well, I'm really drunk. It should be really easy to pick up a woman now. Why is it guys think that they're really sexy? Because they can mumble and drool at the same time. So I went across the street. I did 2 things that drunks do. I did the fall where I went down to one knee, but I hit the other knee. I bounced up and I turned around and watched myself do it in slow motion. I turned into Keanu Reeves and went, whoa. Then I did the stabilize, where you start to fall against the invisible wall. You ever see the drunks do this? And they're fine. I don't understand how it works, but stabilize. I go into the bar, and I'm trying to get women to dance with me, but I knew they couldn't understand me because I couldn't understand me. I'm walking up and going, and they're waving me away. Last thing I remember is I was in the corner talking to a little black girl, and she was just staring at me. But she wasn't pushing me away, she wasn't giving me the finger or anything like that, and I thought I was doing well. And she was just staring at me, and I got depressed. And I walked out of the bar, walked across the street, and I walked out to the dock, and I was standing there looking at the cold waves of the Atlantic Ocean, bouncing up, and I was crying. Nobody loves me. I don't want to go on anymore. I'm going to kill myself. I can't take it. And I stepped off the dock. 6 feet down, sticking out, was another dock that I didn't see. Landed on it, smashed my head on a pipe, woke up in jail the next day. Got a big knot on my head, friend bails me out. $1,000. I climbed 2 10-foot chain link fences to get to the ocean. And I said to him, I was really messed up. He says, yeah, you were really a wreck. I said, last thing I remember is I was talking to a little black girl. He goes, black girl? You were on your knees talking to a bar stool. So I don't drink no more. Gonna have me a little Diet Coke. Now, do we have any questions? Anything you want to know? Anybody need to go? Anybody in a hurry? Everybody holding it in? Yeah, going is another thing that's changed since the hip operation. They hit a little nerve in my body and it changed me. You know, life is a cycle. You start out in diapers, and when you get older, you end up with diapers. Well, since my operation 8 years ago, I've had to wear plastic pants. And I'm not ashamed of it. To me, it's kind of a luxury because I never have to rush out of the room. At any point, if I wait. So I never have to leave. I can just stay wherever I am and just enjoy myself. That's a good thing. Is that too much for you? She's dying up here. Yeah, I know. I know. It's always fun when you're sitting in a restaurant and you're talking. People go, why did you just stop talking? You don't want to know. Trust me. I don't want to tell you. Well, I think it's time we got things really cooking here. One of the things that's really good for you is to sing. Singing is great exercise because it works your lungs. The lungs put the air in your body and it goes to your brain and it keeps you awake. And I'm glad you're all still awake. I've had shows where people nod off right in the front row. I did that. Last week I had a lady fell asleep right in the front row and she had one of those snores that's really loud. She's going, and then all of a sudden she goes, and everybody jumped. It was like guns going on. What was that? Oh, it was Deborah. Oh, jeez. So we're going to start out with a sing-along. This one is called When the Saints Go Marching In. Now, it's a two-parter. You can jump in every part that you want. And it basically, when the Saints go marching in, I want to be in that number, when the Saints go marching in, all right? So let's wake up everybody that didn't come down. Ready? Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Do, 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 do. I wanna be in that number. Where? When the Saints go marching in. Keep it going, here we go. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. I wanna be in that number. When the Saints go marching in. Very good, you did it. And special thanks to Jenna for the bum in there. That was good. We have a drummer here. That's great. And we got snacks. We got lots of snacks. I was just looking at those cupcakes thinking how much sugar are in those. I live all the way out in San Fernando Valley. I can have one of those cupcakes and run home. Luckily, I got my sugar under control. It's almost not diabetic. So every night, just to make sure, I have a big piece of chocolate before I go to bed. Because I want to make sure the pharmaceutical companies don't go broke. I'm keeping them afloat just with my own habits. All right, here's another one. This goes way, way back. It's called Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Same type of thing, two parts. You can jump in whenever you want. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Keep going. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
You did that. You did it yourselves, and you did it unassisted. That's a joke that doesn't work in the comedy clubs. They just don't get that one. That was great. All right, here's another old one which people seem to really love. Zippity-doo-dah. Now, there's a couple extra verses. We're only going to do two because nobody really knows what the third one is. All right? Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Go ahead.
Plenty of sunshine headed my way. Zippity-doo-dah.
Zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird on my
Shoulder.
what?
It's factual. Everything is
Satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah.
Zippity-yay. Wonderful feeling. Wonderful day.
You guys are good. I say we get a bus and we go on the road. All right? Imagine that's the Atrial del Sol bus. We'll go out party and drive the young people nuts. You guys aren't supposed to be so alert. What's going on? How come you get the jokes? I always hear that people always say to me, "You're pretty good for an old guy." Because I like to rap. I do. I'm a great rapper. In fact, I'm going to pull out something now a little bit different for you, and we're going to do a little more music. This is my organ. It's big and red, and I've been playing with it a lot lately. I love this little baby. Got this years ago. And the good thing about this is it works automatically. You got stuff built right in. You turn it on, and you're playing rhythm and blues. With one finger, that's all it takes. It's got a little built right in. And when you're ready to end it, you hit one button and it goes. Isn't that great? And it's a toy. This is a toy for kids. It's made of plastic. But I kept dropping it, so I got this molding you put on the bottom of doors, and I wrapped it in case I drop it so it doesn't break. Because it's 20 years old. They don't make these anymore. But what I want to do is play a song called Louie Louie. I don't know if you remember the song. Basically, the lyrics are, Louie Louie, oh baby, we gotta go now. Ay, 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 ay. Nobody really knows. If you think about the song, it's so I'm gonna make up the song, and you guys get to sing Louie Louie, oh baby, we gotta go now. Ay, 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 ay. Here we go. Here is a song called Louie Louie. I hope that you guys will just give it a try. Louie Louie, oh baby, we gotta go now. Now, I'm down at Atrial, so I'm gonna do some rap. Jen is over there, and that ain't no rap. I'm trying to tell you what I see as it goes down in front of me. And this is what I do, I sing about what I see. I said, Louie Louie, oh baby, we gotta go now. Louie Louie, oh baby, we gotta go now. Yup. Now, these people over there, they're gonna be moving in here real soon. And right now, I stopped to put the two of you in the tune. I'm assuming these people sitting next to you are family. I could be wrong, but that's the way it looks to me. Yeah, so I'm just guessing. I'm telling you what I see. She's having a drink right there, sitting there in front of me. How was it? Was it refreshing? She said, yes, it was good. But funny, I kind of really knew it would. All right, time for a little lead. Now, don't try this at home. Here we go. That's real funny. My tongue's bleeding. That's a start off. That's great. Yeah, put a Band-Aid on my tongue. Yeah. Let me just dip that in Vaseline now. I can't believe that happened. Well, that's about it for me. I want to thank you guys for being here. Please remember you are a family. Talk to everybody you can. Play games. Stay active. Don't just lay in your rooms and watch TV, because that's going to make you go quicker. Stay alive. Stay active. Have fun. My name's Kurtz. Thanks for being here. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause one more time for the very